Hi, my name is Brett Buehner from Soft Do It Media, sometimes known as Brett Bum, to keep things easy on Twitter and other places. And today I want to talk a little bit about YouTube optimization. I've got a friend named Adam Daniel Mezei, known as the Real ADM on Twitter and various other places. Adam is a PMD, producer of marketing distribution for hire, and he's got a couple different websites. One is his what I would refer to as his initial website, where he's done a lot of video reporting from all around the world with lots of insights, editorials, and a number of other things. Does a whole lot of cool stuff from unique locations from the Czech Republic to China to Canada and more. But he also works professionally as a producer of marketing and distribution for independent feature films and documentaries, which I find to be very cool for a number of reasons. Well, Adam's got a YouTube channel. He's got actually a couple different YouTube channels. But his YouTube channel, to a certain extent, has been competing with his Vimeo channel, where he also has a channel. And the general concept is you create a video and you put it out to wherever the audiences might be. You distribute it. And that does make sense. One of the things that's changing, though, or not so much changing, but it is becoming more important, the YouTube audience is massive. It's the largest video audience in the world. It's the second largest search engine in the world. It's where most people go. Now, historically, the video that you could see there wasn't always the cleanest looking. The interface wasn't always as tight. And a couple of years back, a lot of people started filtering off to places like Vimeo, which looked a little cooler, had a more high def a little earlier than YouTube did, etc. But there's a couple things that have changed, and that's the YouTube channel is starting to pay off for people professionally. The audience is one where YouTube and Google, with their experiences, is learning how to put money in the pockets of people that are good content producers on YouTube. I'm not talking about your crappy little webcam video, vis-a-vis what I'm doing right now. I'm talking about things that are produced well, done with good cameras, and good sound and good editing, maybe even little scripted stuff, things that actually push up the quality of content on YouTube. Those types of things are starting to pay off. Google is finding ways to put some of that advertising money that they're making off of those channels back into the pockets of the people that help build it up. To do that, you have to get seen. You have to get your view counts up. On YouTube, Adam's view count is a little weak for the fact that he's done 326 videos over the years. Part of that's because some of his traffic has been pushed to Vimeo when the quality was better, and that kind of makes sense. Well, the other day I went through and I was kind of reviewing his channel, and I put together a video on some areas that needed some optimization. Before, a lot of his titles started off with the Real ADM episode, etc., etc., etc. Here's his Vimeo channel over here, these little buttons here. So a lot of his videos were titled something like ADM video blog number 316, so you want to be a marketer A. And on YouTube, the Real ADM is not going to be something that people will search on. If you want to be a marketer, you type in those keywords. Adam, who took some of my advice and went through and started a short couple of days, he's gone through and done some initial rounds of video optimization on his channel, and now, for that one particular title, he's already up in the top position, number one. There's some promoted videos above that. That's somewhere where YouTube steps in and says, these are some good videos, or people are paying to show these videos, let's show them. Sometimes they'll even take your video if they think it's a good one, and they'll promote it for you without having to pay at all. They do that because when those videos play, typically the advertising on those videos is making YouTube money, and it's working for the audience as well, kind of a combination thing. So if you have a good video and they're able to match it up with a good advertiser, they might actually promote your video for you. But for everyone else, we have to get there first. We have to be seen. And on this particular video, he's got 28 views. That's just a start, but he just moved into the number one spot today. So he's done that for the entire all of his videos in his channel. 326 videos he's gone through and redone the titles. There's a couple places though where he missed a couple things, and this is the first step. This is a lot of work. He's done a ton of work already. But one of the things where he could make some improvements, and the reason why I'm making this video, I wanted to point it out, is that if you take a look, we'll pull up one of these videos. This is actually one where he's not on the first page. I went through and sampled about 6 or 7 of them, and within them, 6 out of the 7 had all made it to the first page just based on the title work that he's done. But let's take a look at the description. The description could use a little work. So from a keyword perspective, and from a perspective of what is this video about. And in it, he talks about he's a single guy, and he talks about his perspectives on being single and things like that. So that's what the video is about. Now, he is about a number of different things. His channel is about a number of different things, but this particular video is about that topic. So his title's right on the money at this point. This stuff is a little extra. That's more for people that know his channel or the viewers or what have you that just want to know where they are in the process of the videos he's putting out. But this is where the keyword magic is. That, and down here in the description. His description is a little on the light side. It says, "Are you torn about the dating game as me?" And starts to go into some of the things that he probably talks about in the video. Not all of it. It's not transcribed and reprinted here, which would be great for keywords. And it's not fleshed out a little bit more with a couple hundred words describing what this video is about. It also doesn't contain the keywords being single or philosophical construct or anything like that. So he's kind of missing a couple things there. He could also potentially put a link at the beginning, which is common. Doesn't have to, but a lot of people do, back to their own website so that he can build up this channel as well. At the end of the day, when he makes a video like this, he's trying to be entertaining, and he definitely can be. He's trying to share some of his philosophy, and he does that very well. But at the end of the day, he's trying to promote this channel and build up a fan base. That involves connecting with people and helping them understand what he's about. So videos like this, where he's not necessarily out there pimping his business and trying to get a shout out for his business and every word that he says or something like that, that doesn't necessarily win fans over, doesn't build connections. But he is sharing a glimpse into himself, his style, and the things that he does and the way that he lives, and that's excellent. But the description doesn't have anything that then pushes that back right in the top. Now he does have, and I think he does a good job of this in some ways, he does have a lot of his social media connections and ways that people can get in touch with him and find out more about him down here lower on. And I think he does a real good job of that. I think this section needs to be a little stronger, and that would help even more. As things go from a keyword perspective, these items here are probably a little distracting in terms of what it's going to do. Now, here's the other area, and this is the last point that I wanted to mention about in areas where there's something to be improved here. He's got some tags, and is talking about his brand, ADMTV, PMD, producer, his name, and a couple of other things through here. He has gone back in and put being single, and I pointed this out a little earlier, so he's probably in there working on this as we talk about it. But there's a few things in here that don't necessarily match up with this particular video. This isn't an indie film or an indie films. It is about being single, maybe working professionally, being single, something like that. So there's a few keywords or tags in here, YouTube tags, that don't quite fit. And with that in mind, I wanted to copy one of them and point out a tool called the YouTube keyword tool. Now, this is typically something used for advertising, but you can also, as a YouTuber, as somebody who's producing video for YouTube, you can find ways to identify if the keywords you're working for are looking to talk about. And I'm not saying that you should necessarily change what you're producing or change the content that you're producing or the message you're trying to send out. Go with the message that you think is right, but when it comes time to describe it, this might help you see how big the audience is. In some cases, you might even see some new ideas that help you get on track. So as we type in being single, let me put quotes around that so that we don't get too confused with like a music single or something like that. Nothing pops up there. Go back to the batch. So as we look at being single, that particular keyword shows up with about a monthly search volume of 9,000 people. So if he can take this video and put it in the #1 slot, the first page of search results for YouTube, and he wasn't there the last time I looked, and I don't see him there yet. Might get there as he works to optimize this more. But if he could make it here, conceivably, his video, if it was in the top here, would get about 9,000 impressions each month, and he might, with those 9,000 people that see this search page, have some slice of that come through and watch his video, and that's going to push his view count up. So that's something to consider. Now, Another thing to consider is, are there other keyword topics that maybe get a little bit better traffic? Single all by itself, that's just a single word, 1.7 million people. So if he's going for being single as opposed to just single, which is a little generic, there's a lot of different things that search phrase may come up with. He could potentially tap an even larger market. Sometimes you want to go for the big market, 1.7 million, on a very generic term, if that's what your video is about. Sometimes, though, you want to go for the focus. If you've got a video on there that talks about being single, and most people out of that 1.7 million are really looking for a single from like a song or something like that, you may never convert on that, and that may actually hurt a little bit. So there could be a few other keywords that might pop in here. Dating. There could be living single. Single professionals. I'm not exactly sure. This isn't a topic that I cover very often myself. I'm married and have been for quite a few years, so it's just not one that I even talk about anymore the last few years. So it's not really in my frame of mind. But as we look at living single, there's 40,000 views. So maybe if this video were optimized, from being single to living single, he might be able to push this up into a keyword range that's not 9,000 but 40,000, and he might still be on top of that. Dating game could be something like living single. Now he's got philosophical construct. Now Adam has an awesome vocabulary, lots of interesting ideas. So this title here, while it may not be the best keyword for getting found on YouTube, it's something where it kind of brands the style of video and helps the user get their expectations set as to what he's going to be talking about, what his style is, etc. So an argument could be made either way, that maybe the title could be dumbed down a little bit, but that argument could definitely go the other way and say, well, if you dumb it down, you're not necessarily going to keep people watching that video if they don't necessarily appreciate the language. So there's a number of other keywords in here that might come into play, but here's the thing, right? We could go in and copy these keywords down and make sure they're in the tags, for one thing. So we can make sure that the right tags are in here. We've got dating, but there could be some other words in here that would help set it apart. If someone were to do a YouTube search on dating, these are the videos they're going to see. This is another way to essentially do a search. So that's something to consider. Now, one other thing that we can do is we can go in here and we can benchmark off what somebody else has done. Dating tip for guys, a woman's perspective, how to guarantee a whatever. They didn't even finish off the title. 138,000 views. Big difference between what we're, as far as the results that we're getting. Let's take a look as we benchmark, see how it was written. Guaranteeing a girl's attention means planting seeds and sharing interest. This description too, it's not necessarily on topic with dating right from the go. So, from a perspective of how do we go in and compete with this video, there's some work and there's some room for improvement. But look at the tags: dating, relationships, dating advice, etc. This is all about that particular topic. She's not dropping other things about her channel. She's not talking about really anything else off topic for this search term. And that's one of the reasons why she's probably on top. There's, I'm sure, a lot of reasons why she's getting the ranking she's getting on this, and it's going to have things to do with her channel, her number of subscribers, how well this video has worked for other people, etc. But there are some of those things that start here, and there's some room for improvement even on this particular one for both places. So conceivably, he could even go in and leave a reply to some of these people on the top, and that might help push his videos up as well. So we can see here's another one, dating tips. As we look at this, you can see a preview, and the word dating shows up, and it's even bolded. YouTube does the work for you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and that's on a channel from Datecom or something like that. So we can see as we look through a few of these, dating losers. My mom used to work for a dating service in the 80s, and he's got dating in his description. Dating doesn't show up there in the description. So there's room for improvement to potentially move into this with a little bit of additional work. And I just wanted to point this out as an example. Adam doesn't always talk about dating by a long shot. This is just one example of a lot of videos where he's rapidly making some improvements and getting things a little bit more zeroed in so people can find him, see his videos, and connect. So, those are the tips. Adam and I are kind of having some back and forth conversations on YouTube, or on Twitter, that is, about this topic right now. You can follow me at Brett Bum, if you like, or Adam on Twitter at The Real ADM. I'm also Brett Bum on YouTube and The Real ADM, or G Towna is Adam's one of Adam's YouTube channels. And that little nickname goes back quite a ways as well. So there you go. I'm subscribed to Adam. Great guy. I've known him for several years through several other social networks. He's my brother from another mother, and great guy. Definitely recommend following him, and I wish him all the success in the world.